All right, man. Andre Ward says Gervonta Davis needs a 50-50 match, needs 50-50 matchup, says Andre Ward. Now we know what Shakur Stevenson said, that Tank Davis told him that he ain't taking no 50-50. He ain't taking them type of fights, that he gonna fight the easy fights and just nickel and diamond. And that's kind of what PBC seemed like. That kind of seemed like that's what they standing on when it come to when it comes to that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? That seemed like that's what they want to stand on. That's what they want to believe in. Um, and ultimately, that is what it is. You know, I can't knock it. You know what I'm saying? I can't knock it at all. But you know, if he want to be a true superstar and be a true superstar, that's what he gonna have to do. That's what he gonna have to do. Ain't no two ways around it. That is what is going to have to happen. That is what's going to have to happen. He's going to have to take the bigger and the tougher fights to get where you need to go. There's no other scenic route around that in boxing. De La Hoya had to do it. Sugar Ray Leonard had to do it. Canelo Alvarez had to take some fights. Floyd had to take some fights. Pacquiao had to have the executioner fights and all that type of stuff. That's just the way it is in boxing. And Al Heyman cannot reinvent the wheel. Don King couldn't do it. Bob Arum couldn't do it. They understand they need to make the fights that the fans need to see. And Andre Ward is right. He's right. He says Gervonta Davis needs 50-50 matchups, says Andre Ward. So he said the dominant force in the division until recently was Vitaly Lomachenko, and the rising power. Shakur Stevens, Andre Ward. Let me ask you something. I'm a fan of Gervonta. If you're Gervonta, would you be okay with just collecting checks, beating solid guys, but so far avoiding 3 belt fighters in your weight division? Said Max Kellerman on Max Home Boxing. He said if Gervonta never fights those guys, then we can say he's avoiding them. But he's in a sweet spot right now, said Andre Ward. You got to realize that he's coming up under Mayweather. He's got the Mayweather cosign. Mayweather gave him the blueprint of how to sell tickets. Mayweather showed up to his events, and that helped sell tickets. And then he took it to the next level through his performances. Ward continued about Gervonta. He's explosive, and everybody loves knockouts. You never know what's going to happen in the Gervonta Davis fight. So he's done the work to be at that point. Time will tell if he wants those matchups or not. Personally, me, I love the money. I've been in a lot of heavy negotiations where you're fighting for every dime. You got to get your money. Don't sacrifice that for legacy. But at a certain point, you got to be in the 50-50 matchups. He says that's the easiest way to look at it as a fighter, at a fighter's resume, to look at their record, to look at their names on the record. You got to ask yourself how many 50-50 matchups you've been in where you're not on point. You can lose tonight. I think Gervonta has to step it up in the 50-50 category. He gets through Ryan Garcia, which is no given. And then I think those other fights are waiting on him on the other end, said Ward. The Floyd Mayweather Jr. blueprint, and who can argue with it from a business point of view and maybe even a legacy point of view, considering he's amongst one of the greatest that did it. Part of the blueprint seems not to give the people what they want when they want it. And that creates pent up demand, which pays off down the road and sometimes put you in with fighters that are no longer in their prime, said Kellerman. That's a fact. I mean, at the end of the day, that's a fact. But Pacquiao and Mayweather was the exception. That was the exception. And we seeing that's not the rule. That is not the rule. That is the exception. And that's what you got to understand. If it was the rule, more people would be doing it. Think about that. If that was the rule, everybody would be doing it. It were to be working for everybody. It's not working for nobody else in the PBC stable. It's not working for nobody else in the PBC stable. So therefore, it's a blueprint that's failing everybody but Mayweather because they ain't Mayweather, and a lot of these dudes ain't Manny Pacquiao either. And that's what it is. And that's exactly what it is. So people can say whatever they want to say, but that blueprint is proven to work for one person and one person only. That's it. That's blueprint is proven to work for one person and one person only, and that's Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, and that's it. And that's it. So at the end of the day, you can't even Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao still had to have the big fights. Even they still had to have the big fights. Think about that. They still had to fight Barrera. They still had to fight De La Hoya. They still had to have those fights to get where they at. And that's the honest truth. And that's the honest truth. So, but yeah, everybody believe what they want to believe, and everybody, is gonna do what they believe in. But he needs those 50-50 matchups to really be a superstar. He can say, well, you can't never compromise legacy for money. At the end of the day, legacy is money. That's how I look at it. Without Muhammad Ali legacy, Muhammad Ali would have died broke. He was able to sell his name. That's why you see him on the not the fat, what's the Fubu Platinum and all that stuff. That's why you see his shirts on all these shirts when you go to Macy's and all that type of stuff. That's why you see his name on his apparel. He was able to die with money because he sold the rights to his name. Without having a legacy, you can't do that. Come on, without having a legacy, you can't do it. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. Without having a legacy, Mike Tyson wouldn't be popular, bro. He wouldn't be on his podcast, or he wouldn't be smoking his weed, or none of that shit. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying. That legacy equal money too. It's probably more important. It's probably more important now. It's probably more important now, you know, then than it is right now. It's probably way more important. Let's keep it real. Cause that money they getting right now, bro, that's coming and going. And I can get into the particulars. I can tell you it ain't what y'all think it is. I can tell you that right now. It ain't what y'all think it is. But you know what? I ain't gonna get into the person. I'm not gonna get into the personal part of it. I'm not. Cause that ain't mine. I could really expose a lot of them dudes over there. But without having those big fights, bro, those fights that intrigue people, he ain't no pay-per-view star. He can never be one. He can never be one. And that's just boxing. Without those big fights, bro, No matter how many people coming to your fight and all that type of stuff. That's why fans ain't buying the pay-per-views. They can get people to the fight. Oh, yeah, Gervonta fight. We get people to the fight. You know, who? The 100,000 people ain't buying your shit. And that's even if you had 105, 200, 300,000, still ain't good numbers. And don't give me this digital era bull crap. Don't get that to me. It's bull crap. You know, UFC still selling it. So I mean, it is what it is. But he right. He needs those fights. He needs those fights. So it is what it is. Let me know what you girls and guys think about it. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon button, hit all notifications, increase chance of notifications. We go live with our video. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon button, hit all notifications, increase chance, get notifications. We go live or drop a video. Let me know in the comment section, please.